All right, thanks for joining us in the kitchen today. Later on in the video, you're going to get to see the conclusion to our archery hunt where I successfully harvested a whitetail doe. From that doe, our selection of meat today is going to be the backstrap. So to get us started, we're going to start off with 1/3 cup of olive oil, and this is going to be our marinade. And let's take a teaspoon out. Now we're going to use about 1/4 teaspoon of garlic. Then a little ground nutmeg. I'll use about maybe about 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. And this is cinnamon. Go with about 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon to go in here, and then add a little smoked paprika, because why not? I'll use about 1/4 teaspoon of this. We're going to go about 3 tablespoons of this soy sauce. And I know for all you cooking experts, there's exact measuring spoons for this, but whatever. So we're going to use 3 tablespoons of the soy. And then the final ingredient is going to be a little bourbon. So we're going to go, and it depends on how much you like the flavor of bourbon in your meat. My wife doesn't particularly care for it, so I typically go with about 1/2 ounce. You go full ounce, it'll be very overpowering. Don't judge me. What would Justin Wilson do? So this is the marinade we're going to use. And we're also going to keep it around once we get the meat out of it, and we're going to drizzle it over the meat once we put it on the grill. So I cut up this back strap, took all the silver skin off of it, cut it into about inch steaks, rinsed them off, got all the blood off of them after they've been sitting in the fridge for a couple days. And now I've dried them off. Now we're going to stick them in, start letting them soak up this marinade. She was a 2.5-year-old doe, so it's not tremendously big back strap, and it should be good and tender. I say she was 2.5. I'm estimating the age. She was younger deer, which is good because they are good eating. All right, so there's our meat. It's in our marinade. What we'll do is I'll let it sit in here for 2-3 hours. And then we'll bring it in here, flip everything over, make sure everything gets good and soaked. And then this evening, we'll put it on the pellet grill, and we'll actually, let me back up a little bit. We will sear it in an iron skillet with some bacon grease, and pull it off, put it on the pellet grill. I cook it about 250 degrees for about 20 minutes. Plenty of pink still on the inside, but no running blood. And that'll be how we conclude this. So stick tuned for the rest of this. All right, so skillet's finished getting hot, the grill's running, and we got our rice cooking. So once it gets up to a boil, we'll cook it for about 10 minutes, and then we'll do the 10-5-5 rule. So medium high for 10 minutes, low for 5 minutes, and then let it sit on the stove with a lid on it for another 5 minutes. Gonna let this skillet get up to high temperature, and then we're gonna sear this on each side. I need to get me a dish to put this in. Looks like our skillet is ready to go. There's some good food. Pretty dang messy though. Goes good with some mixtures. We're gonna save that juice for a little bit later. Rice is still cooking. I'm gonna get this meat out on the grill. I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. All right, there we go. Back strap on the pellet grill. We got it set at 250. So we're gonna get it cooking. We're gonna let it cook up to about, let's say 130-ish. 130 should be about where we want it. So close her up. All right. So the meat is done. Rice is done. Time to make the gravy. All right, so the final product.